Alright guys, so fall is the epitome of men's fashion. Literally, if you want to go all out on upgrading your style or buying pieces, it's during the fall and winter season. Now with that in mind, when it comes to trends, it's very hard to, trying to say this in the most nicest way, incorporate the most outlandish pieces into your everyday style. Very interesting pieces and just pieces that it's very hard to incorporate unless you change your overall style. But with that in mind, I decided to look for the most generalized trends that can really up your style if you are that everyday man who is looking to just elevate their simple outfits into just a little bit much more fashion forward. Alright guys, so just a little disclaimer. This isn't the end all be all for men's fashion trends and my personal trends that I'm looking to incorporate into my style. So if you guys are into my style, which is more like preppy street, kind of that mixture of like menswear and a little bit of streetwear, then I think this video can benefit you. But with that in mind, let's go ahead and go with trend number one. Going from bottom to top, we're going to start with shoes. And I think the trend number one that I see for shoes that one can incorporate are paraboot slash derby shoes. Now, some of the brands that I've seen incorporated into the fashion show would be Rue, Dior, and the reason why I personally like this shoe is because during the fall time, you kind of want to start incorporating boots, but it's not cold enough for you to potentially wear high top shoes. I mean, you can, but for me personally, here in California, it tends to be a little bit cold in the morning and gets warmer throughout the day. And I don't want to be like uncomfortable during the times when it does get a little bit warmer. But with that in mind, I love these boots and I love the style of these boots primarily because it's like that perfect transition or that perfect little segue from like low top shoes and high top shoes. And to elevate and incorporate more boots into your style, especially if you're like around my age where you're like late 20s, early 30s, I feel like these shoes are the perfect boots for you. It's a combination silhouette of like, you know, regular derby shoes and Clark Wallabies. And an honorable mention about what shoe or what brand you can buy for this type of trend would be the original Paraboot. More specifically, their Michael shoe. Alright guys, and trend number two, we're going up to pants, and that trend I will personally say would be texturized pants. Some brands that have been incorporating this trend would be Aleeks, Dry Van Noten, and like literally all of the designer brands that you can think of. You guys are probably wondering, what do you mean by texturized pants? And I'm referring to elevated chino pants. So like corduroy pants, patchwork pants, pleated pants, double pleated pants, plissé pleated pants, cargo pants. I'm talking about pants that you can wear in your everyday outfit. Like literally, let's say if you work a corporate 9-to-5 job, you have to dress business casual. I feel like any pants that you can potentially wear in that setting is perfect for the everyday guy. And there's not really much to say about this trend except the fact that it's just a much more elevated chino pant style. For me personally, I love pleated pants, double pleated pants, and corduroys. I actually got me a pair of brown Uniqlo corduroys, so that's a good place to start. So as for any honorable mentions, I think just anything that can fit your budget. I personally love thrifting all my fashion trends. Just because it's like you don't really know if it's gonna be short-lived or not, but you know, I think you can never go wrong with thrifting pants. And the next trend I will be talking about are shearling jackets. I feel like this trend has always been here, but for me personally, it's always been so hard to find the perfect shearling jacket. Some of the designer brands that have been incorporating shearling jackets that I personally like is Hermes, Jill Sander, and Ami. Or is it Ami? Ami Paris. You get what I'm saying. Like I said, it's a very nice statement piece. I know it may seem kind of over the top, but if you could kind of keep it maybe a little bit minimalistic, or even keeping your overall outfit minimalistic and getting that statement piece, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. But I love the incorporation of like leather and shearling in the inside, or even using like a trucker jacket with shearling, or just full-on shearling. Those are the styles that I personally am looking for. And another trend and another outerwear piece that you can start incorporating is dressing gown coats. And brands that have been incorporating this look is Dior, Acne Studios, and Kenzo. And the reason why I personally like this trend, even though it's like borderline like crazy or like too loud, is because it's just an elevated overcoat. Like, I love overcoats and I love incorporating overcoats. I feel like you could get that one level up by wearing a dressing gown coat. I love the fact that it comes in different textures. I love that it comes in a much more thicker cotton material, and I also love the little like robe-like look, giving it that elevated look into your outfit. It's like the perfect statement piece. And an honorable mention that I'd love to like let you guys in on is the Sanj dressing gown coat. Like, it's so beautiful. I love the colors. It does seem kind of long for a guy like me, but guys, like, I've seen other people wear it. I've seen the texture. It's just chef's kiss. And the next outerwear trend that I will be talking about would be safari jackets or utilitarian jackets. And some brands that have been incorporating this is Dior, Louis Vuitton. If you guys don't know what I'm referring to, it's basically a jacket with like multiple pockets. Now, I love this jacket because it has that statement look, but is very simple. It's not really out there. And if there's a way you can kind of find a safari jacket and incorporate it into like that corporate look, I feel like that could honestly like really elevate your style. And the next trend I'm referring to are bomber jackets. Some brands that have been incorporating this is Louis Vuitton, Kenzo, and Etudes, or Etudes. I don't really know how to say it, but yeah, those brands. I feel like this is actually much more of a staple other than a trend. But for me personally, I'm looking to incorporate a much more elevated bomber jacket. And what I mean by that is I'm looking to actually like spend a good amount of money just to get a nice bomber jacket that I can wear like throughout the years. I would usually just get it with like thrifting or like Zara and H&M, you know, all that fast fashion companies. But guys, you should always have a nice bomber jacket during the fall and winter time. Alright guys, and now we're moving on to like themes. Number one theme that I'm thinking about incorporating would be Gorpcore. Brands that I'm referring to would be Arc'teryx, Patagonia, shout out Patagonia, and North Face. Now you guys are wondering, how the hell are you going to incorporate Gorpcore into your current style? But I'm talking about the outerwear pieces, like the fleeces, the parkas, the anorak jackets, the shell jackets. Incorporating that into like your look, I feel like can elevate your style. It kind of shows like, hey, you know, it's that mixture of like streetwear and menswear. Alright guys, and the next theme I am going to talk about is the color red. And brands that I've seen have been incorporating it into their fashion show would be Rude, Hermes. And for me, when it comes to fall, I usually like to keep it very simple, you know, olive color, neutral colors, nothing too crazy. And I feel like this time around I want to incorporate a little bit of pop of color into my wardrobe. I feel like in order for me to wear that pop of red, it would honestly have to be like an outerwear piece, whether that be a jacket or even like a knitted sweater. And some honorable mentions I would love to talk about would be Bare Knuckles and Raf Simons. You know, I love those cashmere looking sweaters with the distressing, or like the Raf Simons red sweater that is cropped, a little bit oversized, but it's just like that very thin borderline of going over the top and trying to find a way to incorporate into like the corporate world is like super crazy to me, but I feel like it could honestly work. The next theme is double-breasted fits. And some brands that have been incorporating it is Versace, Louis Vuitton, Dunhill. Originally coming from like a menswear streetwear background, I've always loved that clean look. I've always loved double-breasted suits, and if I could kind of find a way to find a double-breasted suit and kind of make it much more casual in like a date setting, or maybe even like, you know, working in the corporate world, I feel like that could kind of elevate your style and kind of make you look much more fashion forward amongst your colleagues. Now, there's not a specific brand that I'm personally looking for, but I definitely want to incorporate a much more staple colored set rather than going over the top. But I think a brand that really does double-breasted suits and makes it much more like fashion forward, simple, minimalistic, and just super clean would be Aimé Leon Dore. I know like I keep hyping the brand up, and yes, it is super expensive, but guys, like, you gotta admit, the overall forming of like the brand and incorporating like certain pieces to a cleaner look is just ridiculously amazing. And then lightning round, some other trends that I will be personally wearing and already have would be Letterman, leather jackets, clogs, sweats, all that good stuff. And with all seriousness, what trends are you guys looking to buy, and how and where are you looking to buy those trend pieces? Please like, comment, subscribe, and you boys out.